Holly again, and we are about to go inside and see Toy Story 4. Come with us.
I'm James.
And I'm Holly, and we just got back from seeing Toy Story 4.
Yes, we did.
And this is Luke.
If you can see him. Anyway, so about the movie, this is the fourth iteration. We've seen Annie grow up, go off to college, and the toys were left with Bonnie for care. Mm-hmm. In the previews, we saw that Bo Peep was back, and they actually, at the beginning of the movie, showed a little explanation as to what happened to her. Apparently it was after Toy Story 2 that she disappeared and before Toy Story 3.
If you've seen anything about Toy Story 4, you will know that we have a new character, Forky. We just had a fork-spork debate, so for some reason in my head I'm using the spork, but it's Forky. It's Forky, even though he is a spork. I'm surprised to say that I was emotionally invested in the fork. But, so I mentioned a little bit in our Aladdin review that I didn't really grow up with the Toy Stories. I was a little late to the game with them. I don't even know if I watched any of the Toy Stories in the 90s, like when they were first coming up and Pixar was just getting big. I really don't think I did. I think it wasn't until the last 10 years that I even watched any of them. So really late to the game. This is definitely the first one I've ever seen in the theaters. I liked it a lot, and I was pleasantly surprised how much I liked it. So I don't know if it's because the characters have grown on me over the years, or
you just sat down and actually paid attention to the movie.
Or I sat down and paid attention. Or for me, it was like this was my first theatrical, like, coming to the movie with everybody else and being kind of hyped about it movie. So that being said, I mean, I didn't love every moment of it. I liked the movie. I think I will watch it a lot, maybe more than some of the other Toy Stories.
I think it was better than
I also
than some of the other
am
ones.
quite surprised to say that I jumped out of my seat about 12 times. And not scared.
Yes.
This is a children's movie, but I was legit petrified and screamed a couple times.
Yeah, if you've got a fear of dolls, creepy dolls, this may not be the movie for you.
If you're out there, Helen, and you're watching this, I would not recommend that you go see Toy Story 4.
Yeah, the scenes that she was talking about, I wasn't quite sure if we were watching Toy Story 4 or Child's Play, which was in the theater next door. Because there were some creepy scenes with dolls running around. So,
and notice he says scenes. It wasn't a scene. It was a few scenes. And throughout the movie, random toys would come at you, and you would just have no clue they were coming. And it wasn't just the creepy dolls. It was some of the other toys, too, that would randomly jump out or attack or stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about Bunny and Ducky.
I think I kind of love-hate them. Like, there were moments that I liked them and I thought they were entertaining, and there were moments that I was like, how many times are you going to play the same... How many times are we supposed to go back to that same gag?
Yeah.
You know? But I found them kind of endearing by the end. Even the bad toy, I felt empathetic for her in the end. And the little lost kid, which I was surprised that I cared.
That you cared about a little lost kid.
That sounds horrible, but I was surprised.
She was that little lost kid.
Probably. I was really when Bonnie did her kindergarten orientation too, for some reason that one hurt too. I don't know. first day in school, all alone, not knowing anyone like that hurt. Maybe because I'm starting school next week.
Yeah,
I'm afraid.
Yeah, you're starting kindergarten. It's one of those things that I don't want to. I guess.
I don't want to give away all of it, but
too many things. But
I think it's fair, to say she started school and it was a rough first day. Kindergarten is often a rough first day for people. Not always just the kid. That mom, though, was just like, see ya, and left her. I was like, I'm used to all these stereotypes of the parents walking out and crying and bawling and don't want to leave their kids.
She was like,
that was not this mom.
Have fun, I'm free.
That would probably be me as a mom. Which is probably why I'm not. But,
So, this movie definitely was more emotionally invested. They took a lot more effort to include some comedy and creepiness. Because those two things go hand in hand.
Way more creepiness than any other Toy Story.
So there was quite a bit of creepiness in the first Toy Story. You had Sid disassembling all kinds of toys and stuff, and then you had the mutant toys coming out because they kind of like...
Yeah, I don't know. They wound up being really endearing to me too. Like when you found out that... I guess the same thing.
They had
I guess
the initial creep factor.
Yeah, because I've seen that one for so long that I already empathize with those toys, so they didn't freak me out as much. Sid freaks me out. Like Sid is
a serial killer.
Yeah, like he's the kid sociopath that you see all the signs that this kid is gonna be a sociopath. Like he creeps me out, but the toys got their revenge on him, so that always made me feel a little better. But these dolls were just like, I saw where they were gonna go with her. I saw that Woody was gonna... I anticipated how Woody was gonna respond in the end and do what he did because he is the faithful, loyal toy. Which is why I had a little issue with Bo Peep for a couple moments. There, like, for hating on that. But... So I empathized with this bad toy, but she was just creepy for 90% of the movie. And her minions were never vindicated. They're still creepy. To the end, they're so creepy.
And you had that one last creep out. They had to get that one in there. That was I was still waiting for one last twist in the movie, though, that perhaps the evil doll wasn't telling the truth, and
it was like gonna attack the lost kid or something.
No, I wasn't expecting the doll to attack the lost kid. At that point, I figured she was telling the truth, but there was the point when she's trying to convince Woody that it's like you thought that she might have been lying,
and that it was a mask of sincerity instead of actual,
But I thought it was quite entertaining. So that all of the Toy Stories, the main storyline is there's a rescue mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every single one of them. It's always there's always a rescue mission. Everything revolves around the rescue mission, and this is no different. They're going to rescue the fork.
They're going to rescue
the spork.
Trash.
Yes.
Trash.
Yes. You are trash to me. Mm-hmm. You'll get what we're saying here if
you go see it.
Yes.
But Sporky has a difficult time understanding what Forky. I can't keep it straight. Has a difficult time understanding why he is alive and that he is a toy versus being trash. So that's a fun conversation walk between Forky and Woody. And by the way, it's random, but I think Forky's adorable the way he like waddle walks. I don't know, it's cute.
Well, he has no legs.
Yeah, he just has those feet. But he still walks. It's just like a waddle walk.
So you've seen in the previews that it's like they're on a road trip and Sporky jumps out the window. Sporky, I'm doing what you just did.
It is hard. I grew up with sporks. They are sporks. I loved sporks. In kindergarten, I knew the word spork, okay, because I ate Taco Bell, and the whole reason to go to Taco Bell was to get a spork.
Anyway, so Forky jumps out the window. Woody goes out after him.
Oh, Buzz. Sorry, I'm gonna get there.
And so they're trying to meet up with the rest of the crew, which was in an RV, in parking a few miles down the road for the night. So it's like Woody's trying to get Forky back to Bonnie because
because his conscience tells him to.
Yeah, well, that and the kid has some serious issues with just letting go.
Buzz doesn't understand the concept of what a conscience is, and it is hilarious. He thinks that his toy buttons with his
okay, I'm just gonna say it. Woody tells him to listen to your inner voice, so Buzz
so he
just
keeps pressing
pushes
the button, and he gets his pre-recorded stuff, and he's decided that is his inner voice or his conscience, and that is what directs every decision he makes. Poor Jiminy Cricket is like over here dying for all of this, I'm sure. The greatest conscience ever.
So, beyond the fun with Buzz Lightyear and his conscience, we're also introduced to Duke Caboom. Now, Keanu Reeves, this is his finest role ever. It's like, this is the role that is defining his career. The heck with The Matrix, the heck with John Wick, this is it. He is Canada's greatest daredevil.
He's probably the one part of the movie I could have done without. I mean, the movie wouldn't have gone the way it did. He had some pivotal moments, but, he wasn't horrible, but...
He is a national treasure for Canada.
I could have done without him and his He's like emo Kylo Ren.
You couldn't have had the latest Star Wars without emo.
Apparently you couldn't have the latest Toy Story without emo too.
I don't think he was emo.
My child abandoned me on Boxing Day.
Well, I'm sorry. It's like, Woody's got the same issues there. It's like you're splitting hairs there. It's like all of those toys had those issues.
Woody wasn't emo about it.
Oh, and what's her name? Gabby Blatty or something?
What is he? Creepy doll.
Yeah.
But hers wasn't emo.
Her story was exactly the same as
story was
Duke Caboom.
Her story may have been the same, but her response wasn't the same. Her response was the way Maleficent responded to life. His response was the way a whiny teenager does.
Some whiny teenagers?
I mean, I'm not saying Maleficent isn't emo. But she's not annoying
go
emo.
out and
She's
build a gang.
Badass emo. Not that we needed another Maleficent movie, but...
I'm actually looking forward to that one. So I think she's actually going to be bad in that one.
Which doesn't make any sense or any points to the first one that they did then. Another review for another time.
Yeah, we'll just have to spend another $100 to go see a movie. Okay, it's
the
not
popcorn
really,
was good.
Yeah, it's not really that expensive yet, but
Give it some.
yeah, give it another couple months.
So, this movie should have come out a week ago for Father's Day. That poor dad. Those poor toys were trying to send him to jail.
Well, at least one was.
More than once. And, toward the end, when they're on the last leg of their rescue mission, because, no rescue mission goes as planned in a movie, and they're trying to get the family to drive the RV to the meetup location. Hilarious. When they hack into the GPS and take control of the car. And now if anything goes wrong with my car, I'm going to, search my engine for rogue toys.
That would certainly explain a lot.
It was hilarious. I was in stitches at that point. There was a lot of laugh out loud moments.
Yeah,
in this movie.
Yeah, there were quite a few laugh out loud moments, and
and it was not just me.
Yeah, I would say that what was it, the last Toy Story when Andy went off to college, it was a little sad at the end, but this was definitely a much bigger,
I thought it was really
emotional,
sad at the end.
Yeah, it's like if there are ever any future Toy Story movies, it is unlikely that it's going to have all the same toys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they could do it.
They could do
it.
It's like,
how.
Get the gang back together. They crossed country
True.
for a rescue mission, of course.
I don't know. It would be weird. It was rough. The end was rough.
Like
I think I just sat there and I was like,
hey, it's like a few of them are traveling with a carnival. The carnival could always make its way to wherever the other toys are living. So, if you listen to Pixar, you're welcome. It's like I just gave you the plot for Toy Story 5.
I feel quite confident that Pixar is watching.
Yes. You can send the check to... Oh,
us.
well. Yes, send the check to us. It's like, well, private messages. I'll give you our address,
or at least a PO box.
Yes, we accept PayPal.
Me too. I feel like going through the list, and Ralph breaks the internet. And PayPal, Venmo, what's your credit card number? 7. So, is there anything else shareable without, we did some spoilers on some other movies, but I'm kind of with you. Like, I think this is a big one that has been decades of culminating to get to, so I don't want to...
Yeah, there was there was very much a similar emotion towards the end of this, like there maybe not as strong as at the end of the Avengers Endgame, but it felt very similar.
It was definitely similar. Different but similar. Which doesn't make any sense. Because it's completely different worlds. But... And again, I didn't have...
And nobody died. So, just putting that out there because it wouldn't be a children's movie if any of them died.
Only if the parents did. It wouldn't be a children's movie if a parent didn't die.
Well, that is true. It's I thought
but she has 2 parents.
There were a couple moments where I thought an old lady was going to die.
Or Dad was going to die in jail. Poor Dad. Stupid unicorn. I usually like unicorns too.
That unicorn had it out for Dad, so I don't...
He did. I don't know what happened. I mean, Woody should. He got stepped on twice by Dad, but whatevs. I feel like they put a lot of hype around Bo Peep because she came back in this one.
It was definitely a girl power.
I just wasn't like super excited with her character and where they took her. Like I get why she chose to do what she did. I get why she's leading the life she did. But I couldn't completely empathize with her because I was much more on Woody's and the other toy side, who's, for all these movies, the whole goal of their life had been to provide happiness to a child. That's why he goes chasing after a frickin' spork. That's why he jumps out of a moving RV. That's why this whole movie happens. That's why the whole series happened. And
well, let's face it, it's like all the toy villains, they're toy villains because they felt wronged by their owner.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe that's why I just wasn't happy where she went, because she was on the verge of being a toy villain to me.
And in a way, hey, from the previews, I initially thought she was the villain.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, she, like, redeemed herself in the end.
I don't know.
I'm not buying it.
There was plenty of guy bashing in the movie to go around, though. I don't think that I didn't notice the subtleness of that. All the men were dummies.
Woody wasn't.
They certainly did make a reference to him being dumb and stupid, and although in a more playful way. But I did notice that those other dummies were all male. What you trying to say?
The sheep were cute.
Yes, but they turned out to be female.
Yeah.
Spoiler, anyway.
Forky was a dude. He wasn't a dummy.
I don't know. That was questionable at certain parts in the movie.
He was cool. I can't believe. I just can't get over the concept of an emotional attachment to a spork.
Yeah, I battled with
They're
whether...
made to be used, eaten with, and thrown away.
I was battling with whether or not to bring my trash home and play with it, or throw it in the trash can.
The weekend's not over yet.
Yes.
Start fiction. We're going to start posting pictures by trash cans. It's warm and cuddly and safe.
Yes. Well, now you just ruined it. Now they don't need to go see the movie to understand what we're talking about.
No, they still need to go see the movie to understand what we're talking about. Now they just want to know more.
That's how it works.
It's a hook.
Get the hook, man.
Mm-hmm. Like Bo Peep's hook.
Not Maui's hook.
No. Wrong movie. Right company, wrong movie.
Actually, not the right company.
Well, the Disney part of Disney Pixar.
Okay.
We're going to make that count.
All right.
So, would you tell people to go see it?
I was very reluctant at first. I wasn't sure if I was going to spend the money to go see this one. I'm still, like... I will still say at this point, from about 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, still more jazzed about Toy Story 4 than what's the upcoming one, Lion King.
I agree.
The more and more I see the Lion King previews, I can't help but feel that they're screwing it up, and we'll probably still go see it so that we can tell all you lovely people out there,
so that we can tell all you how you feel, how James feels about it,
how
and
you
then,
feel about it.
Yeah, and then nobody will watch this anymore because they will all hate us or James. So we will not be giving out our address for hate mail.
Yeah, we'll spend our money so that you might not have to spend your money.
Or we may love it. Or you may not care what we think anyway. And you're entitled to that opinion.
Just don't leave it in our comments.
Agreed. What's the first rule of the internet, Ralph? Don't read the comments.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's left us any comments yet. Well, maybe a few at the beginning. Dumbo was like the first one we did. It's like, where are you? Feel like I need to go hug some trash. Unloved. I need my warm, safe space.
You can sleep out by the trash if that's what you're doing too. Don't bring that in the house. Sporky was like clean trash. He wasn't like in a dumpster trash. He was in, well, it was a kindergarten classroom. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was right at the beginning of the day.
Yeah,
We'll assume that it was clean.
Yeah, he looked pretty clean.
Although he did jump into a few other trash bins at some point.
Woody had his work cut out for him.
So, you know,
I think it was. The ending was rough. I don't like that they're not all together, but I think it was.
It had to happen.
I think it was a good full circle and character arc for Woody. He's probably where he needs to be, even though maybe I'd be happier if he was with somebody else.
You're just upset that he's like
I'm just
the
not
girl
a fan
that
of Bo
he's
Peep.
with, but
Just not a fan.
let's face it, it's like they all were kind of like settling for who was available.
But he has the whole big world now. Maybe it won't last.
That's hopeful thinking there. So, I hope you break up real soon.
That's Toy Story 5.
Yes. The divorce.
Woody does online dating.
Yeah. So, well, not...
Now you have your 5th Toy Story Pixar, my storyline.
So, you know, well, not having seen the any of the first 3 at the theaters, you know, I enjoyed them all. You know, probably not some of my more favorite cartoon movies or animated movies. However, I will say that they've grown on me over the years. You know, out of the ones that because I've watched them all in the last week.
In the last week. And the last couple decades.
Yes. Well, I'm you know, I just rewatched them prior to this movie coming out. And, you know, I'll actually say that this was probably the most enjoyable out of the 4 of them now.
I did really like this one.
So,
I like
you
Toy
know,
Story 3 a lot, too. I think I might like them in reverse order.
2 was always kind of like a weird one. It was, I mean, it was certainly entertaining and introduced us to a bunch of new characters with Bullseye and Jessie.
Yeah.
And we get to see Zurg as a toy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think this one probably had the most developed story.
Maybe they'll expand Toy Story Land and have a carnival. No, we have the carnival in Dino Land, and it's not really my favorite part of Animal Kingdom.
Well, they already kind of have Toy Story Land set up similar to... I mean, it was decorated like a...
Yeah, but it's supposed to be Andy's backyard, I think.
Yeah, whatever.
So, the toys all have Bonnie on their feet now. Do they still have Andy on the other foot?
They didn't show the other foot, but it's like, I'm thinking that they just painted over and...
Well, that's kind of sad.
But they, you know, you did get mention of Andy quite a bit in this movie.
And, okay, so prior to going in and seeing it, I had heard of a lot of people complaining about clips that they saw from the beginning of the movie where they did kind of your retrospective with Andy, because they do, like James said, fill you in on what happened to Bo Peep at the end, so they go back to go forward. And know that Andy in the retrospect in the beginning of this movie does not look like the Andy in the original Toy Story, and a lot of people, I don't want to say doesn't look like. It's still him, obviously. You know, it's still the same kid, but
The animation's gotten
exactly,
better.
and that is what people have been complaining about, or I have heard of people complaining about. Let me rephrase. I think it's just a testament to just that, how much this animation studio has grown and the technology has grown and how well they can work with that. Because he does look a lot more, to me, like crisp and clean.
But again, this was taking place after Toy Story 2 and before Toy Story 3. So it wasn't going all the way back to 1 where he looked really weird and Sid and...
No, I think that initial scene was supposed to, because like you saw him go through a couple years and then they take you to the part where Bo Peep leaves. So I think it was supposed to be going all the way back, because I think it's like the same scene from the original.
I mean, they showed a few scenes of it, I guess, as him playing with them growing up.
You know, like a lot of people had commented like that was a big issue for them. That was not even a blip on the radar for me. Like, again, I think
apparently I barely even remembered it. So
I think it just shows how much the that animation studio has grown over the years, and I think it's awesome that they linked that, but you also get to see their progress kind of at the same time too. So I think that's really cool. I hate that I'm hitting a blank at this. The previews had a new Pixar movie.
Oh, Onward.
I think that looks like it's going to be so much fun. Definitely want to see that one. All I know, though, is that it cometh soon.
Cometh soon.
I'm going to have to research what that means.
So,
I mean, I know what it means, but I'm going to have to research what the date is. I know what it means.
Okay, so, you know, again, it was like, this was probably the most enjoyable out of the 4 movies. There was a lot of comedy, a bit of drama.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pixar always has drama.
Yeah. Drama sells. But it was very entertaining, and
so do Killer Dolls.
Yes. Apparently the Killer Dolls are an in thing.
I know, like, you go outside and you look at all the movie posters and there's, like...
3 of them involve
Killer
dolls or toys, and two of the 3 involve killer toys.
Nobody's gonna feel safe sleeping this summer.
Clear the house of toys, yeah.
That's gonna be easy.
But you know, this was the most enjoyable out of them. You know, not regretting my decision to go see it. I'm glad that we decided to go see it and do the review, as opposed to just waiting for it to come on video. You know, it was definitely a good movie night. Great for the kids, unless they're afraid of dolls
or sudden movements.
Yeah, it's like, I guess the dolls.
I have to say that, like, I jumped, like, visibly jumped a multitude of times, and if I were said child in the theater as a child, I probably would have been that obnoxious kid screaming her head off, because that would have scared me. None of those kids in that theater screamed. So either A,
they're probably used to watching crap like that with their parents.
A, I was a horrible child, or B, they've been desensitized. No, I'm thinking it's B.
But you know, it's like the
damn video games.
The creepy dolls were the old classic ventriloquist dummies,
and they're creepy.
Yes. Like,
for me, since I don't do scary movies, which you all already know, the closest to that I got was Goosebumps, and they had a few Goosebumps, like, you know, not the new
couldn't
movie,
remember
but
if
the
it was
series.
Goosebumps or Twilight Zone.
They had a Twilight Zone one too, and they're always creepy.
Out to get you.
Because the ventriloquist doll always gets a life of its own, and then, like, shows up in weird places like your bathroom. And
well, this movie explains a lot then, because they really are alive. They're all alive.
And, oh God, it's getting worse. The end of Tower of Terror, when you come down in that last room, there is one to the side of that elevator, because he's always staring at me.
Well,
When we finished
well,
that
I
ride.
remember the creepy doll, but I thought it was a female doll. I don't recall it being I don't recall seeing a ventriloquist dummy.
No, I remember the...
Well, dang it! Now we got to go to Disney and ride Tower of Terror so that I can see whether or not there is a ventriloquist dummy when you come off that elevator.
Well, by the time we get back to Disney, you may be the only person in that part of the park, so we can do that. My husband wants to go back to ride Tower of Terror, not to go to Galaxy's Edge. Not true. He wants to go to Galaxy's Edge.
I will be more than happy to go to Galaxy's Edge, but you know, I guess over the years I'm that crotchety old guy that get off my lawn. That it's like I'm just not into huge crowds, and going to Disney, huge crowds. Come on, but it's like, you know, within reason. I don't, you know, Galaxy's Edge is gonna be crammed full of people, and you know, we went to Toy Story Land. What is it? You know, probably even
last October.
That was probably that was still months after opening, and it was just wall to wall people, and to make it worse, it rained. So
actually, to say in one way it made it worse, but I think the reason we got
everybody
still
just
had to wait.
crammed even closer together.
But the reason we got on the swirling saucers as quickly as we did, and it was a line, but the reason we were so far up we were actually in the queue, not like off in the land where the queue extended, was because of the rain.
But it was packed, and you know, if there was that much packedness for Toy Story Land, you know, it's
just gonna be
Galaxy's Edge is gonna be unbelievable, and you know. Whew.
Let's go to Disneyland.
Yeah, it's like I heard the stories.
I mean, their system sounds great right now, but once they stop reservations, I'm not sure.
Well, I heard the stories when Pandora opened, and you know, people were limited from going into that area of the park, and lines for the rides were extending all the way back to the main gates, and you know, when we went, there were still like 6-7 hour waits for that ride.
Yeah.
And you know, it's died down quite a bit now, but it's what, 3-4 years later.
Yeah. So, that being said, though, we do still have some content to upload for you guys from Disney and Vero Beach. We are gonna get a video up for you guys about the after hours event, maybe some ride-throughs. And some
ride-throughs will be easy if you really want them. So
and some more dining stuff. So, speaking of those comments that we do have below, feel free to let us know what you want to see more of. You can comment on the videos. You can follow us on Instagram at the Walters Disney Couple and comment there as well. Just let us know what you want, and we'll be trying to get that content up as soon as we can.
Yeah. So, well, back to our valuation of the movie, because we always seem to get off topic somehow. You know,
it's all Disney this week.
You know, I don't regret seeing the movie. Definitely good for the kiddos. You know, unless they have that fear of dolls. Otherwise, it's, you know, I give it 2 years. And, you know, definitely worth the money to go see it at the theater.
I feel like I'm like the nice one because I've told you to go see all of them, but I'm sure that'll end one day.
It may end with Lion King, but
I don't know. That's not the one I'm the most concerned about.
Yeah, I'm still up in the...
It's gonna end with Maleficent.
Still up in the air as to whether or not I want to go see the Spider-Man at the theaters, because that's coming out in about 2 weeks, a week to 2 weeks.
And we got Frozen 2 this fall, and I've seen all the trailers, and I still don't know what it's about.
About 2 hours. But don't.
Go see the movie. I feel like that's how I end all of these.
Yes.
Go see the movie.
Ignore the man over there. It's like, just go see the movie.
But he says to go see the movie too, so you don't have to ignore him this week.
So, all right. Well, enough jibber jabber from us.
As always, please like the videos, subscribe, and you'll be notified when new content goes up. Follow us here and on Instagram, and have a magical day.
And I'm out.
See you real soon.